For the first 30 years, the Navigator ministry was led primarily by laymen and laywomen who were coached and encouraged by the few who were vocational staff. Both the laymen and the laywomen and the full-time vocational staff were considered navigators as long as they continued to walk with God and live out the navigator calling.
You know, I've had a wonderful experience with the Nav Fusion type of campus ministry. My wife Sue and I came to Christ and was involved with the Navigators on a campus with no staff.
Back in the 60s, there was a deliberate shift toward emphasizing the role of the full-time staff. An unintended consequence was the devaluing of the role of laymen and laywomen.
Well, I think the most exciting thing that happened in my whole life was I was on a campus praying that somebody would come and help me. And one day a couple guys showed up that happened to be with the Navigators. I knew nothing about the Navigators, but one of those guys was a banker.
The four people who led the campus ministry was a real estate agent, a local home builder, a nurse, and a local businesswoman. And they were our heroes because they modeled who we wanted to be like, because we really saw it working in their lives.
The ministry was going so well that the Navigators heard about it, and it was news in the Navigator work. And so Leroy Imes was asked, well, are we going to send a staff person to Marshall University? And Leroy said, no, don't do that. He said, if we do that, we'll mess it up.
Nav Fusion springs forward and harkens back to the original Navigator ethos, empowering lay leaders to lead campus ministries, coached and encouraged by full-time staff, and complementing our staff-led ministries.
What's interesting is I've thought about why we need a Nav Fusion expression of our calling. I think the primary reason is God's raised it up.
Few places will have staff, but the Navigators needs to be a movement. And wherever you go, you're going to find a Navigator. You just dig a little bit, and you know, there's one over here, there's one over there, there's going to be one on this campus.
So, the great majority of Nav Fusion campus leaders are laborers who have a continuing heart for students and who are reaching out to students on a nearby campus. Nav Fusion empowers these agents to start and maintain a disciple-making reaction on their campus.
Reaching these students is absolutely essential, and it won't be done by the full-time staff person. It will be done to a great degree by people who are just ordinary believers out there slugging it out among students.
There are 4,216 campuses in the United States, nearly 11 million students from age 18 to 24. We have 95 staff-led Navigator campuses on those 4,000 plus campuses. We need to do everything we can. Students are too important. Student ministry is too strategic to not do everything possible to reach more campuses. And Nav Fusion is one of the ways that we're extending the reach of the Navigator Collegiate Mission.